Welcome back. All right, so speculation's the thing. You know, one thing with general managers, they're gamblers. You when you're putting pen to paper and you're signing these long-term contracts, every single time it's a gamble. And what Pierre Dorian did today is say, I believe in Tim Stutzle. I believe he's the future for the Ottawa Senators. And I'm not going to argue with him because Stutzle had a very good second half of the season. So he signs an 8-year extension with the Senators worth $8.35 million per season. It kicks in next year. So the Senators, not a team that has any problems with the cap. And if these contracts end up aging as well as they potentially could, and again, I talked yesterday about the salary cap and how it could skyrocket in a couple of years, this contract could be just fine. He was a number 3 pick in 2020. So the 2019 and 2020 number 3 picks have had a reason to have a video today. Who knows what the number 3 pick from 2021 or 2022 might do today in order to get videos as well. But signing this contract, it is a gamble. Absolutely. There's a gamble here. But I think they're gambling on the idea that the Tim Stutzle that finished up the season is the Tim Stutzle we're going to get going forward. So he's just played the 2 years, 53 games his first year in 2020, 2021, 12 goals, 17 assists. Then, in what I consider to be his breakthrough season last year in 79 games, 22 goals, 36 assists, 58 points. So again, when I did a video earlier this summer talking about breakthrough stars, knew how that was going to, make that next step, and people are like, why aren't you talking about Stutzle? In my eyes, he doubled his point total from the previous season. I think he's already arrived. Plus, you look at how the season ended. So in October, he had 4 assists in 7 games. November, he had a goal and 3 assists in 12 games. So he had 8 points in his first 19 games. And I do remember a lot of what's wrong with him, what's going on. It's sophomore jinx. It happens. December, he has 4 goals and 3 assists in 9 games, so he starts to pick it up. January, 3 goals, 3 assists in 10 games. So not quite where you want it to be, but not awful. February, 4 goals and 2 assists in 12 games, and then he turns it on. 2 goals and 11 assists for 13 points in March in 15 games. And then April, he saved his best for last. In 14 games, he had 8 goals, 10 assists, 18 points. As the season went along, it felt like Stutzle was becoming more and more of a highlight reel package to watch every night. And you could see that there's real reason for optimism. Now, one thing with Dorian as well is he has been quite willing to spend the money necessary to sign these guys long term. And so Stutzle just becomes the latest. What's going on with Ottawa is they're looking at this young core they've put together and they're saying, we believe in this young core. So Brady Tkachuk, his cap hits $8,205,714 until 2028. Josh Norris, of course, he signed this offseason as well. $7,950,000 contract that runs till 2030. Stutzle's, of course, because it kicks in next year, it runs through 2031. Drake Batherson, $4,975,000 deal that runs through 2027. And on the blue line, Thomas Chabot, $8 million contract that runs through 2028. I would argue that Chabot at $8 million a year already looks, I don't know if bargain's the right term, but you look at what some defensemen are making and what they're going to make, it's a pretty good contract. So what the gamble is here is that Stutzle, who's going to be paid more than Tkachuk, is going to be the man. He's going to be a top line player, play down the middle in all likelihood, and the plan is to have him as their one of their faces of the franchise. And when you look at how well he played in games that the team played well, you can get it. 32 wins, or he played in 32 wins, 15 goals, 23 assists, 38 points in those 32 games that the Senators win. In the 40 losses, 3 goals, 12 assists. So in games where Ottawa loses, Stutzle doesn't produce. In games where they win, he produces quite well. In the overtime shootout loss category, 7 of those he played in, 4 goals, 1 assist, 5 points. So if the Ottawa Senators have a really good game, Stutzle probably did too. So if you pay him, and again, this kicks in next season, you pay him what you feel that he is worth, this will take you quite a ways. He's only 20 years of age. So again, the risk is there. But if we look at the contract that was signed by Doc this morning, right, as an example, $3.3 million cap hit, is Stutzle worth $5 million more per season than Doc? Right now, I would say probably, yeah. And the interesting thing is, of course, Alex Formenton is still a RFA with the Ottawa Senators, so we'll see what they give him and for how long. And Alex DeBrincat is an RFA next summer. So now that they got Stutzle signed, you turn your attention to Formenton. And then you try to get DeBrincat signed as well. Clearly, the deal is simple. Sign these guys for as long as possible. And this, again, flies in the face of the idea that, well, players aren't going to want to play in Ottawa, because that's been a conversation for a while as well. These young players are willing to sign the long-term extensions. And we have seen with Tkachuk that, they're willing to do whatever they have to do in negotiations and make it work. And they absolutely have made it work. So we'll see what happens with Stutzle. Is this contract going to age well? We'll see. Personally, I think it's a good gamble. And so again, this is that, some guys are going to get paid at age 28, 29 with those long-term contracts everybody hates. This is one of those ones that there will be people who hate it because he hasn't proven anything yet. But as we've seen in previous off seasons, and one that comes to mind for me is Leon Draisaitl, because it's the easy one, where a player signs a contract worth a ton of money that people get mad at the time and say, that's ridiculous, he hasn't earned that yet. And now we look at that contract and say it's a bargain. So for Pierre Dorion, he's looking at these young players. He is giving them all the money that he feels that they deserve. And he's doing that with the speculation that they are going to become those franchise pillars that the Ottawa Senators need coming out of this rebuild. So again, I did the video yesterday on the hype for the Ottawa Senators. I don't think this does anything to dampen it whatsoever. If you're hyped about this team, good news. This is a young core that's going to grow together, and we'll see what kind of success they have as well. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. And remember, if Stutzle is having a good night, Ottawa's probably winning the game. So thank you guys so much for all your support. I'll talk to you again very soon.